Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our community breakfast, the State of the Community. My name is Tish Shade. I'm the President and CEO of the Frankfort Area Chamber of Commerce. And wow, what a crowd. This is the biggest crowd we've ever had, so give yourself a round of applause. So at your table, there is a little half piece of paper that if you have questions for any of our panelists that are going to come up here, please circle that, write your question down, and then we'll have some ambassadors walking around throughout, but we'll catch those. So just when I tell you, wave your little piece of paper and we'll come get it. And then we'll bring them up here and we'll ask those questions. So first of all, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for being able to be a little flexible with the weather this year. We were hoping to have it in January, but this turned out that people could come even more, so we're glad you guys are here. I am going to now introduce Mario Radford. He is a Kentucky native and the founder and lead pastor of Growth Point Church in Lexington. Most notable for his music abilities, he is a podcast host, author, actor, and insurance agent among the many hats he wears. Radford received his Bachelor of Arts degree in Liberal Studies from Kentucky State University in 2014, and now serves as its music director and faculty member. Mario, please join me.
Good morning, everyone. So there's a thing we say sometimes at school where we were voluntold. And
Not by me, I didn't do it.
Not by her, no. I was told that I was leading a song, or singing a song, rather. I am doing that. And then I was also voluntold that I was doing the invocation. So I said, oh, I just found out about that. And I won't blame the person and say the person is, but she's sitting right in the section somewhere in Mrs. Sanders, Kentucky State University. But anyhow, but she said, she told me you can do it. I said, well, I will. So I'm going to do that first because it just sprung up on me, and then I'll sing the song. I'm open to be home. So would you join me in prayer if you would? Father, we thank you for the beauty and the heritage and what we have as the abundance of Kentucky. We thank you for the hills that we have, the land, the rivers. We thank you for the farms that we have here in our Commonwealth that nourish families. We thank you for the people. We thank you for the resilience and the hospitality and the creativity and the deep-rooted sense that we have of belonging. So today, as we come together, I'm asking that you bless our families and our leaders, our workers, our educators, artists and farmers and dreamers. I pray that the labor that is in this Commonwealth will continue to be fruitful. Thank you for the rich history that has shaped us and who we are, the stories that we have that bring us faith and courage. I pray that you help us to honor that legacy by building a future that is marked by justice, compassion, opportunity, and peace. We receive the challenge to not just let things divide us, but bring us together. Teach us to move forward together, to listen more deeply, to love more broadly, and to stand side by side with each other. Thank you for the areas of which we still have to grow in, but thank you for the areas that we have grown in. Let your favor rest upon this state. Bless our neighborhoods, our communities, and our understanding. We dedicate this Commonwealth and this city, this community, this state to you. We glorify you. Some there in this room represent other faiths, but to continue to my faith and my tradition, I pray this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, far away. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario. Good choice, Sonia. So it is my pleasure to welcome up Joe Eimel from the State Journal. We always give away the State Journal Resilience Award. Is Joe here? Good. While Joe's coming up here, I just want you guys to know, again, this is one of our biggest events of the year, and this is the biggest one we've had. This right here, this trophy, we're pretty excited about, is for this award. When we went to the state conference last year for the Chambers of Commerce in Kentucky, we won 4 of the 6 awards for our category. So we're pretty proud of the state of the community and for our Community Trust Bank and for the plant board for sponsoring this event. But you see what it does for us. We've won one of the biggest awards in the state for this event, so we're very excited about that. So Joe, come on up.
Good morning. My name is Joe Eimel. I'm the publisher of the State Journal, as well as 12 other papers in a bunch of states. And so today, I'm honored to present Dr. Doug Howell with the State Journal Resilience Award. Everybody has a story, and Dr. Howell's is an excellent one. Just what a great representative of this community, and so proud to present this to him on behalf of the State Journal.
Speech. 40 years of business.
Thank you to the State Journal for that, and congratulations to Doug. The other award, one of the other awards we won this year is for our magazine. We won Best in State in Print. So this is our new magazine, and Doug is already in there. We made this decision last year so that we could get it in time for the grant, so he's in there as well. All right, now it is my pleasure to introduce my friend, Hal Rowe, with Community Trust Bank. She's gonna say a few sponsor words.
Good morning. Are you excited to be here? I don't know about you, but I love to rub shoulders with you guys. But thank you, Chamber and leaders of Frankfort, for setting a day aside for us to reflect and talk about our city, the capital of the Commonwealth, what we truly have to offer. For those that I haven't had the privilege to meet, we should fix that. I'm always up for coffee or bourbon. But my name is Paula Rowe, and I'm the market president for Community Trust Bank in Frankfort, Georgetown, and Versailles. But most importantly, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and somebody that calls Frankfort home. When my daughter used to be little, she's not that little anymore, full of attitude too, she would step outside every morning and take a deep breath, and she would say, "It smells like Frankfort." And I don't know about you guys, but that smell is this sweet mash that Frankfort has to offer. But that was the smell of home. And honestly, that kind of describes perfectly our city, because we are truly Kentucky distilled. We hold history and innovation in the same hand. We honor tradition while curing opportunities. And when I look around this room today, I see builders, dreamers, connectors, and visionaries that make that happen here in Frankfort. Our town has faced many challenges this past year, from a historic flood to some amazing growth with new jobs and a renewed energy. That's who Frankfort is. We show up for each other and we move forward together. Our Community Trust Bank, our mission is building communities built on trust. And you see, that didn't start with the bank, that started with a city, pretty much like Frankfort in eastern Kentucky, where relationships matter. Neighbors show up and partnerships are earned. So we're grateful to be a part of this amazing event where we come together, where we invest in people and support local businesses. And so with that, it is my honor to invite to the podium my friend, Kathy Lindsay, as she is gonna moderate this amazing event. Thank you.
Okay, that's just a teaser because I'm not going right now. First, before I get started, I would like to invite Penny Fiegler up. She's going to share some information with us. I think it's very exciting for our community, and I look forward to hearing from her.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you all. I'm Penny Peeler. I'm the Economic Development Director for Frankfort and Franklin County. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, and I share Paola's daughter's vision of home. I smell that smell every morning of my life, and it is mother's milk. So your Economic Development Agency, together with our city and county, have produced a new video which will be premiering nationwide this week to highlight the specialness of our community as a place to live and raise a family and have a business. And so this video is going to be part of a news interview this week on Fox Business News, and afterwards it will air nationwide on PBS stations throughout the United States. Many of you are featured. We'll have the opportunity all year to use this video to highlight what's special about our community. It features our mayor and our judge executive as well as residents. You know, our passionate citizens are really what set Frankfort apart. And so we hope that you agree that this video reflects the specialness that it is to call Frankfort home. This is part of our new strategic plan for economic development for the community, which is all centered in job retention and job growth. We do that through a variety of different industries. As everyone here knows, we're not a one-horse town, right? We have tourism, we have advanced manufacturing, we have small business and professional services. These are all the things which support growth and retention in our community. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge our members of our board of directors who are here, Richard Rosen, Dr. David Lodmell, and others, and I want to thank you for your leadership and for joining with the city and county in the production of this new piece. So without further ado, I give you Frankfort, the best of Kentucky distilled.
Abraham Lincoln once said, "I hope to have God on my side, but I must have Kentucky." Positioned in the heart of Kentucky between Louisville and Lexington is Frankfort, the capital of Kentucky, and embodiment of all that makes this state special. From its collaborative community spirit to its natural charm and beauty, this small city, rich in history, provides a perfect place to put down roots, work towards your dreams, and build a bright future.
The quality of life in Frankfort, I believe, is unparalleled, particularly here in the state of Kentucky. And when you think about Kentucky, you think about history and hospitality and the culture, and Frankfort really has all of that. And it's a great place because of its scale, its walkability, and the hospitality here. It's small enough where you can fit in, but it's also a big enough place where you can think big. Frankfort, Kentucky is not only the seat of government here in Kentucky, but we also are the seat of ideas and innovation. We're a city that embraces the entrepreneurial spirit, and we support it here. For somebody that's looking at relocating to Frankfort and living here, I think it's best for not only up-and-coming families, we're also a place where you can be an empty nester. We have a great quality of life. It's a small town feel, but we're still close to a lot of the major amenities in surrounding cities and enjoy all the arts and culture, but still have day-to-day great pace of life. Frankfort's a great place for anyone to call home.
Franklin County, Kentucky is where history meets modern opportunity. home to nearly 50,000 residents and legendary bourbon distilleries. It's a community rich in character and positioned for growth. Its central location connects you to opportunity, provides easy access to skilled workforce, and a high quality of life.
Frankfort on itself is an amazing place to run a business. Big enough that people are comfortable, you don't see the same people all the time, but it's a small enough town that if you need something, you can call the county judge or you can call the mayor. We look to work together on all projects, so entrepreneurship and new business is very important to us. Frankfort is very interesting as far as how the business society is made up. We have a lot of entrepreneurship, we have a lot of things from just arts to music, and then we have bourbon. Buffalo Trace is here. That is one of the biggest companies in the world. We also have some of the biggest car manufacturers here. But for me, it's about all the smaller businesses that make us who we are. It's welcoming, not just for our business communities, but for their families.
Frankfort's efforts for future growth don't end with business expansion. The city is home to one of the nation's oldest public historically black colleges and universities, Kentucky State University. The school's world-class programs help Frankfort and Franklin County to work towards igniting growth in the biotech and agriculture technology sectors.
We're home to Kentucky State University, an HBCU and a land-grant university that also provides a lot of great ideas and research and is an incubator for small businesses as well. Not only is Frankfort a great place to live, it's a great place to visit. We have award-winning distilleries here, abundant recreational opportunities, great food, great places to stay, and a lively arts and culture scene. I like to say that it's the best of what all of Kentucky has to offer. It's where history, culture, and hospitality come together.
This is a destination for success, where diversity is celebrated and innovation is encouraged.
I was born and raised in Frankfort. It's just one of those places that feels like home. People wave when you pass by, you know your neighbors, and there's a real sense of community pride. I chose to stay in Frankfort because it offers the kind of life I want. Safe, connected, and meaningful. I'd absolutely recommend Frankfort to anyone looking for a place to visit or put down roots. It's Kentucky's capital, but more importantly, it's a place that feels like home.
One of the reasons I got involved as Franklin County Judge Executive is to make our community better for future generations. I believe that some of the future plans of Franklin County are just continuing to do what we do now. We take care of our existing businesses well, but we also are welcoming to new businesses and industries as we try to diversify what is best for our community. I believe Frankfort is special because of the people that live here. There's a lot of things that go into making Frankfort what it is. Quality life is extremely important to us. It's about the people, it's about our industries, it's about who we are. Frankfort is the best of Kentucky.
Frankfort, Kentucky is a great place to live, work, and play. It's the best of everything Kentucky has to offer. Not only are we the home of world-class bourbon, horses, and bluegrass, we're also where everything comes together. Our history, our culture, and our hospitality. We are Kentucky Distilled. Come see us.
Frankfort is a city where rich history and vibrant community spirit come together to inspire growth and possibility. Rooted in tradition, but driven by innovation, it's a place that welcomes families, businesses, and visitors alike. Learn more today about Frankfort, the best of Kentucky, distilled. For more information, visit frankfortkydistilled.com.
Isn't that cool? Sometimes it's nice to be reminded of all the exciting things that we have going on here in our community, things that make it a real special place to call home. So thank you guys for that. While I'm saying thank you, I'd like to thank the Kentucky Historic Society for having us here today. We have a full house, and I know that sometimes that's hard to accommodate, so I don't know what we're gonna do next year. We need to find more space. I'd like to thank you all for being here today because you recognize that it's important to spend some time with and hear from our leaders of our community who are helping to shape the future of Frankfort. And that's all of us. If you're here, you're engaged and you want to be a part of it. So all of us here share the same goal, which is a strong and thriving community. Am I right? At the Frankfort Plant Board, we're proud to play a supporting but essential role in that mission. I'm sure most of you in this room are somehow an FPB customer, whether that's electric, water, telecom. Somehow, if you live here, you're a customer. So I just want you to know how much we appreciate you and your loyalty. Most days when our work is done, hopefully nobody notices. Because the lights come on, the water's clean, and the internet just works. But behind that simplicity is a complex system and a local workforce, and we're proud of that. They work every day to keep Frankfort moving forward. As a municipal utility, we answer to our neighbors. Every decision we make is rooted in what's best for this community today and for decades to come. That local focus matters, and we're proud to have that local focus. That means when we invest in infrastructure, we're investing right here. When we modernize our power system, our water systems, or our broadband network, those dollars stay right here in Frankfort, supporting jobs, reliability, and economic growth. And it means when challenges arise, whether that's severe weather, like we're used to now, aging infrastructure, or rapidly changing technology, we're able to respond quickly and with accountability. For folks in our business community, like you, reliable utilities aren't just a convenience, they're foundational. You can't expand operations, attract talent, or serve customers without dependable electric power, clean water, and high-quality connectivity. That's why we see ourselves as partners in economic development, not just service providers, and we're so proud to do that and work with everybody in this room to make sure that happens. A big part of that partnership in connectivity is through NextBand. We're delivering locally owned high-speed fiber internet up to 5 gigs, that's up and down. That supports businesses, enables remote work, and keeps Frankfort competitive in a digital economy. It's fast, reliable, and supported by people who live and work right here in Frankfort. For businesses considering expansion, or companies that are looking at Frankfort for the first time, high-speed local internet might be the difference between a maybe and a yes. Equally important is how we communicate with our customers and community, and that's where the My FPB app comes in. The app gives customers real-time outage notifications, access to the live outage map, which is very important in severe weather, billing and accounting tools, and important service updates. And this is all in one place on the My FPB app. It's one of the simplest ways we can stay connected, especially during emergencies or severe weather. So, does anybody have the app? Does anybody already have the app? Okay, a couple of you. Okay. If you don't have it already, download the My FPB app and encourage your colleagues, your friends, your family to do the same. And I would say that we can just wait right here while everybody downloads it from the Apple Store or Google Play. But Tish has me on a really tight time schedule. So please take the time to do that. It's a free app, and if you're a customer, it's such a convenient tool. So thank you for doing that. FPB also provides a unique service with Cable 10, and they're here today. Thank you, Brett. We have Round 10, which is Frankfort's live morning show that features local voices about local issues. And I'm sure many of you in this room have been on the show at one time or another. We talk about local causes and events like this one. It airs every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. on Cable 10. We also air it on FPB's Facebook page and Cable 10's YouTube channel. Cable 10 also plays an important role in civic transparency and community connection. We're helping residents stay informed and engaged in local government, schools, and events that matter. So while I'm on that subject, let me just say that it's election cycle. Did anybody know that? Every seat in Frankfort is open except for the mayor's seat. So everybody is on the ballot this cycle. So that's very important for you to know, and it's very important for you to get engaged with who is running. At Cable 10, we do meet the candidates. Those are one-on-one interviews with the candidates that help you, get to know the candidates so you can decide who represents your values the most and what's important to our community. We also have the chamber forums that the chamber does, and that's more of a debate forum, head-to-head. We're already getting those scheduled. And we hope that you're able to tune into those, so stay tuned when those will be on the air. Very important. I'm almost done. At FPB, we're proud to work with the city, county leaders, planners, school leaders, and businesses to ensure Frankfort is prepared, not just for today's needs, but tomorrow's opportunities. Our commitment is simple: to plan responsibly, to invest wisely, to communicate clearly, and to always keep Frankfort's best interests at the center of what we do. Now, I'll close with one small request. As a public utility, feedback matters, not just internally, but publicly. If you're an FPB customer and you've had a positive experience, taking a moment to leave a Google review helps others understand the value of reliable locally owned utilities. Like we've been saying, when people look to move here, or businesses are looking to come here, those are some of the things they look at. They look at how the schools are performing. They look at what the businesses are doing, what kind of utilities are they gonna have to pay, and you know, what do people in the community think about the utility. So it's very important for us as a group to be supportive of our utility company and the things that we do for Frankfort. So again, it helps others understand the value of reliable local utilities. It also helps our team, the people behind the scenes who work really hard in freezing degrees, climbing poles, digging ditches. It helps them feel more seen and more appreciated. So we're proud to serve alongside you, and not just as a utility, but as a community partner that's deeply invested in Frankfort's success.
You thought I was coming towards you.
I did. I wish she was coming. She had the book. Okay, so that's what I have, and again, thank you all so much for coming. We're so proud to host this event every year because we know how important it is to our community to hear from our leaders. So at that, I'm going to ask them to come on up, have a seat on the stage. That's what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or what? Okay. They're very excited. Okay, first, I would like to introduce, she's already been to the podium, but I want to introduce our Frankfort Area Chamber of Commerce President, Tish Shade, and again, thank her and James for everything they've done for this event today.
So we all know that we can't do this by ourselves. We have a team. I do want to introduce Janice Purvis. If you'll stand up, please. She's our office manager. And I want to introduce Jessie Fehrenbach. She is our brand new employee as of yesterday. So Jessie is our program events coordinator, so you'll all get to know her as we go. So thank you very much. I would like to thank our President's Club members. So if you guys are a President's Club, just wave your hand so people can see. Community Trust Bank, Commonwealth Credit Union, Independence Bank, Whitaker Bank, Expree Credit Union, West Banco, Traditional Bank, and Frankfort Regional Medical Center. So thank you guys very much for being our President's Club members. We can't do it without our people, and you guys are our people, so we appreciate you. If you are a board member, please stand up. We have a great set of board members. Every one of these guys up here are our ex officio and sit on our board. We appreciate the input that everybody in this room gives us. And we appreciate, I can tell you, I talk to chambers all over the United States, and I tell them all the time that I have the best board, because people complain about their boards all the time, and I really do have the best board. So thank you guys very much for your commitment to the chamber and to the community. So our mission statement is to build a vibrant economy through member-driven advocacy and community leadership. Again, we can't do that without our people, so we appreciate you all. Some of the things that we did last year and some of the awards we won, we did a day at the Capitol, which will be this year, it'll be in March, so that'll be coming out, so look at that. We hope to have a crowd this big. We'll have to get a bigger room, but if we do. So the State of the Community is how we kick off our year. And then we have different things called ribbon cuttings. We've got a 110% club. Does anybody know about our 110% club? So our membership committee, we kind of brainstormed and we decided we have some smaller members, and maybe not just the smaller members, but people who need our help. And they want to be a part of the chamber, but they just can't afford it at the time. So if you pay your membership and you pay 110% of your membership, that goes into a bucket that when people are struggling in your community, we can help them stay involved. So we've had a lot of people take advantage of that, and we appreciate everybody who's paid above and beyond their membership to make that happen. Some of the other things we do are Leadership Frankfort. We have an education committee who all of this comes out of. We took 18 business leaders this year. So if you are in this room and you are a Leadership Frankfort, either current class or graduate, please stand up. We think this is very impactful in our community. We are so excited that half the room are either in the current class or alumni, and I think this is one of the best programs in the state. We brag about it at the regional level all the time because we're training our employees to be better acquainted with our community. I've had people, and I'm going to pick on Susie for a second. She went through the class a long time ago, and she said, I lived here my whole life, and there were things I didn't know when I went through this. And she went before I did. So Janice is going through it now. Jesse will get to go through it next year. So we're excited to bring our community to the forefront and let our leaders go there. So if you've ever sponsored part of that, or a breakfast, or just let us come tour with you, we appreciate you very much. One of the new things that we did this year is a laser program. So we're excited that the laser kids were supposed to be here today. They got a mix up on the dates, so they didn't come. We have them, they're like our junior leadership program. Have you guys heard of our laser program? To us, it's our workforce development solution. We are taking 10 students, it's a pilot program from Western Hills. So I sat with Mark Kopp, he actually brought the idea to me, and we collaborated and we made it happen. We got a sponsor, so thank you to Spring Credit Union for sponsoring that this year. And we're taking some kids and making an impact in their life. When we do our annual survey, you guys tell us what you need. So we take that back to the board, we take that to heart, we listen to our community, and one of the biggest things you said was, you need people. Well, I don't know where we're gonna get all these people to come to work in all these new businesses, because we've got a lot coming, and we're very excited about that. So we went to our school system. We talk to them, and we take them into the public, we show them who's doing what, we see what the kids are excited about, and we take them and introduce them to those kind of organizations that they want to work for. So we're trying to bring you more employees so that it helps our workforce. If those students who aren't going to college but want to jump into the workforce, as a business community, it's our job to help them get there. And I think we're doing a really good job with this first program. It's going to be more enhanced next year. If you want more information, just let us know. But we think, the students, we're going to have a luncheon for their graduation next month. No, April, jumping ahead. So in April, that class will graduate before their high school graduation. And we want as many business people to come and support those students because we want them in our economy. So, Janice held mine on time.
You are good. I didn't even.
She's not
I didn't time you.
Well, that's not fair. No, that's technicality. No. That's home court advantage there.
All right, so the other thing, I want to remind you that we have on your table, there's some sheets, and we're going to have our ambassadors. Ambassadors, wave your hands. So we have a few ambassadors that are going to walk around. They'll grab your questions, and we'll bring them back up here to Kathy. The one last thing I want to do is I have a couple of people who, I said how much we love our board. We had some people, every year we have people roll off, and I wish I could keep them forever. But Annabeth Bobbitt, come up here. Annabeth is one of our retiring board members that I hate to see go, but she can come back. So I think we just want to say thank you to our retiring board members. She led the chamber for years, and she was our board chair in 2024, and she couldn't have done a better job. So thank you so much for what you do for the chamber. Karen Wheeler. Is Bethany Patton here? So Bethany Patton couldn't be here today, but she is one of our retiring board members from CCU. She didn't just retire from us, she retired from them, so we're all crying together. She was an amazing board member, and we appreciate that. Carol Smith is another one. She couldn't be here today. She is one of our retiring board members, and we thank her very much. So Karen Wheeler of Beam Suntory Global, we appreciate what you've done for us. We are sad that you're rolling off the board. You can spend some time on the board and then it's time to roll off. So if you guys are looking for a board to join, we would love to have you join in October. But thank you so much for all you did for us. All right, since I got the introduction, that's really all I got. So Kathy, I'm gonna let you come up and we're gonna get moving. Let's do it. Thank you again for coming. We appreciate everyone.
All right, before we get started, I failed to recognize, I'm the chair of the Government Affairs Committee at the Frankfort Area Chamber of Commerce. And so I just want to recognize our committee membership. We've got Christine Cartwright, Karen Wheeler, John Graham, Jonathan Bott, Holly Spade, Ryan Newcomb, Mike Scott, Greg Burton, Birch Bragg, Nathan Deppenbrock, J.C. Young, and Susanna Westerfield. So I just want to give them some thanks and applause, especially this year. We're just going to be really busy, and I appreciate all the work that they put in. I want to remind everybody, like Tish did, there's sheets on the table for questions, because they have graciously said yes to answering questions when everybody's done. So that's the most fun part. That's why we come. So first, I want to introduce, we have Mayor Lane Wilkerson. He's going to go first this year. The mayor, gosh, you're not running this year. How does that feel? You're the only one in the catbird seat. So he served as mayor for 5 years, correct? For 18 years, he's also the co-founder and managing partner of CTM Wealth Advisors. And we'd like to welcome him to the podium.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Frankfort Plant Board, all of our friends there who do so much for our community. It's great that we have our own municipal utility here in Frankfort and Franklin County. And I also want to thank Tish Shade and the Frankfort Area Chamber of Commerce for bringing us all together once again for this event, bringing all these notable people into the same room, giving us a chance to talk about the great things going on in Frankfort. And I want to also thank our city staff, community partners here in attendance, all the businesses that generate revenue for the city of Frankfort, our state and federal partners that we rely on so much, our local school districts who we work with so well, and of course Dr. Capo and the KSU leadership who we know it's our university here in the city of Frankfort. And I want to also give a shout out to my colleagues on the City Commission. Some are here today, Rob Richardson, Katima Smith-Willis, Lisa Unger, and Kelly May. Just want to say it's an honor to serve alongside you to do this very important work on behalf of the city. The last year or so has been very productive. I feel like we're hitting our stride. And I think I appreciate the civility and professionalism and the ability to disagree without rancor, and I think it shows. I think the community sees it, and hopefully we're sitting here next year in the same positions and working toward 27 and 28 to finish some of these big projects that I'm going to talk about today. Of course, we've got a lot of momentum, a lot of stability right now, and before I go on to the things that we are working on, I think we have to look back and acknowledge some of the realities of last year. We had, of course, in February, we had a major flood. And then that was followed up quickly by another more damaging flood in April, as we all remember. And this was an opportunity. I think we saw that the community stepped up. We had city staff that worked nonstop. Not only did they continue to do the jobs that they already do day to day, but they went into overtime and helped clear the debris and make sure that our community was safe. Public safety was job number one, but then property safety as well. Our first responders were exceptional. They did, again, we made sure that we had people evacuated, and they went above and beyond, rescued numerous people and numerous animals and pets as well. And of course, the volunteers, the friends and the neighbors who stepped up immediately and just showed that Frankfort does a good job of taking care of Frankfort. And not only did we notice that here locally, regionally, statewide, it was noticed, and of course nationally, we noticed it as well. So that made me proud to be the mayor of this resilient city. And despite that disruption, progress continued on. We still had work to do. And this is a good day today to reflect on that, talk about what happened in 2025, but look forward to what's next in 2026. Because I do believe that Frankfort is changing. It's changing for the better. And part of that is the stability that we have now, and also the unity and focus that we have among the community partners and a lot of people sitting here on this stage. I think it's set us up to now, we're working on plans, and we're now focusing on the execution of these plans. So I think if we can sustain this in 2026, this next year really could be an epic one for the city of Frankfort, Franklin County. I'll start off, and I'll leave some for you all to discuss later. But we did have a few announcements. In this room, Frankfort Area Chamber of Commerce, it's important to talk about business and growth and development. Last year we had hundreds of jobs announced, and that's something we haven't seen in decades. And for me, the most important part of this is a couple of these, Uni and the Meridian Biosciences. And these are existing properties under existing zoning. So this is true infill development, adaptive reuse. It's using what we already have. It's an efficient way, and I think that's important, a way to develop. It's my vision of Frankfort, using what we already have and doing so efficiently and respecting our community character. We also created an economic development strategic plan. I believe you can't get to where you want to go unless you have a plan. We hired Jay Garner and associates to adopt a major plan. It was the city and county coming together, making a major investment to do this. To my knowledge, we've never done this as a community, and it gave us a clear action list and clear metrics that we can follow. And it also pointed out some hard truths and some of the weaknesses. And it's sometimes, we don't want to look in the mirror and see this, but it's important that we face up to the things that we aren't doing well and compare it to other communities and fix these problems. One of the things I'm most excited about is our Economic Development Agency under the leadership of Pete Peevler. We have rebranded, and it is now under the name Develop Frankfort. And I like to think that this is not just a cosmetic rebranding. This is something that I'm gonna advocate for it to be more structural. So it's not just about industrial development. It's about recruitment and retention of small businesses. It's redevelopment and revitalization of core areas of our community that aren't as productive as they need to be. And it's also focusing on housing. And I think that's one of the big things here in Frankfort. If Frankfort is to grow, we're going to need new housing. We also are focused on regional partnerships. More and more economic development is about regionalism. And Frankfort's well positioned in between the two major cities of Kentucky to participate in that. And we led the way last year with a couple of, with the county, working with Anderson County and the city of Lawrenceburg to move forward the Franklin County, the FACT district, that's the Franklin Industrial Development Authority, and we made some progress on that. Also, we partnered with the County of Woodford with a sewer extension to help the residents in Millville, but also it's going to help the distilleries in that area as well. So that was another partnership to help the regional economic growth. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the, I think, a landmark agreement between the city, the county, and Franklin County schools to move forward on an indoor aquatic and wellness center. And I know we have a meeting this week to move that forward, so I'm excited about that. And a lot of things we're working on. One of the things looking forward to 26, I want to work on modernizing City Hall. In this age of transformation, I really do think the next 10 years are going to changed the world unlike any decade in history. And Frankfort needs to be well positioned to take advantage of that. We need to align our city government to make sure that we don't get left behind. And along those lines, so we're instituting and putting in software that will make us more efficient, to make sure that we can deliver services to our residents in a more efficient manner. We want to make it easier to do business and interact with the city of Frankfort. We're also working on revenue modernization. We want to make sure that we're getting the most bang for the buck. And to that end, we've seen over the first 6 months of our fiscal year, our net profit business license fees are up 56% year over year. And overall, our revenue is up 7%. And all the while, our expenses are down just slightly. Now, I don't want to cut expenses at the expense of services, because I want to make sure that we're delivering for the community. But we're being very mindful of our budget now. And it looks like if we continue on this pace, we could have a surplus after this year. Could. But if we do, that'll be added to the reserves, and that'll be in addition to the $2.7 million that we've added, identifying funds that we had overages in a couple of accounts. So we're on strong footing to take advantage of opportunities and in case of emergency, and to make sure that we can invest in our core services. So on the housing front, I think this is one of our biggest issues. In the city of Frankfort this year, we're working on affordable housing. We've identified 5 acres on Shingle Lane. We're partnering with the Banyan Foundation to develop this for affordable housing. We're working on the parcels downtown, which will be settled once we know where the meeting and event center will be sited, and that will be determined here in the near future. As we look forward to 2026, I would expect the following. And not only we're going to see a ribbon cutting at the Target Supercenter and some of the stores in the paddocks, we're going to be opening the new South Frankfort Fire Station, which is on track to be completed in October. I also hope that we'll be able to break ground on the new meeting and event center. We're working with the state right now very closely. They've already partially funded this. The city's already committed funds to this project, and I think we're this close to being able to make a major announcement there. I'm hopeful also working with the city and the county that we will be able to announce something major with the indoor aquatic and wellness center. And beyond that, we're also working on last meeting, we had hired Sasaki, which is a major, well-known landscape design firm, to help us redevelop our riverfront. And not only do they have design expertise, but they have funding expertise as well. And I think working alongside them, it's another opportunity for us to set the stage, create a plan that's so compelling that not only do we have local buy-in, but we have the Commonwealth buy-in as well, because I do think that Frankfort is the showcase of the state of Kentucky. We need to make sure that our General Assembly knows that and make sure they fund it accordingly. I appreciate everyone being here today. Thank you for your time. I see you guys, and we'll be around for questions. Thank you.
I do want to let some of you in the back know there's some chairs up here if y'all want to come sit down, because I know there's some long-winded things happening and you might want to have a seat. So there's some chairs here, and then there's several of you on the side. I'd like to thank the mayor. Obviously, I think a thread through this whole day is that there's a lot of partnership going on to get things done in our community, and that's how it has to be done. So I appreciate all of that. Our next speaker is Superintendent Mark Kopp. We're just throwing him around. Oh, okay, no, okay. We switched it up again. Dr. Coffee Cuppo is the president of the Kentucky State University. He is serving as the 19th president, and he's been here since 2023. He was previously the president and chief executive officer of Bluegrass Community and Technical College, and we're thankful for all of his experience that he's brought here to Frankfort. So let's welcome Dr. Cuppo.
Good morning. Ms. Lindsay, thank you so much for the introduction. And thank you, Frankfort Area Chamber for convening this state public community breakfast. I also want to thank the sponsors and partners who make today possible. Kentucky State University is now only located in Frankfort. It is your university. We are part of you. We are part of this community. Yesterday I was sharing with the council, the city council, that we are the biggest household in this town. Just think about it. There is no household in Frankfort and Franklin County that houses thousands of people. Kentucky State University is the only one. We have over 1,000 kids living on campus, shopping in this community, and contributing to the economy. So we're one of you, and I loved it when I saw the video. Maybe it's the mayor and the judge, yes, that's what I would like to see us do. Whether we accept it or not, we're part of it. We're your university. So I would like to see us work together more, bring us together more, and during the tragedy of December 12th, it put tears in my eyes. The supports, the judge, the mayor, some of you coming on campus, trying to support me personally, my team, and the student. That's what I would like to see us do. It was an unfortunate event, but I can also assure you it was an isolated event. We learned from it, and we put things in place to prevent that from happening. As part of my update, when I arrived in Frankfort, July of 2023, the university self-reported to SACCIOC, our accrediting body. There were some things that you all know. I don't have to go into detail. That happened in 2021. As a result of that, we were placed on probation. We were placed on warning because of a 16 violation of a core requirement and standards. Within 9 months, we fixed 11 violations. And the SACCIOC sent committees to campus to ascertain that we took care of them, and they were blown away. 5 remained after the visits, and these 5 have to do with the audits. Upon my arrival, the institution has not done audits for fiscal year 2021, 22, 23. And then I got there, we started working on 21. 23 was due. By working on 22, 24 was due. So we were working in a real, trying to fix the audits that were supposed to be done years ago. It cost the university as of last year $6.6 million to get 4 audits done. We're working on 25 as we speak. But what I want to share with you is, despite all this, we have made some significant improvement. SACCIOC at their last December meeting, was proud of us. They were impressed with the progress that was made. We also cleared 4 out of the 5 remaining. We only have 1 standard to address, and hopefully by December, we'll be out of this struggle. But what I want to share with you is, from the time I came until the completion of 24 audits, our net position increased from 11.7 million to 32.3 million. An improvement of $20.6 million, or 176% improvement. Our operating revenue increased by $9 million. Non-operating revenue increased by $3 million, and operating loss decreased by $3 million. The unrestricted deficit was reduced by $18 million. Enrollment went up 68% since my arrival. And this year, we're graduating 32 students from Frankfort Independent in May, they will earn their associate degree from KSU before earning their high school diploma. I'm watching. So also, we have been really busy. Fall 25, we launched several bachelor degrees, interdisciplinary, biological, and agricultural engineering program through partnership between two of our colleges, College of Agricultural, Health, and Natural Resources, and College of Business, Engineering, and Technology. We also just added another several degrees that were approved by SACS-UC, as well as Council on Post-Secondary Education. We have added Masters of Science in Sport Analytics, and which was just approved. We also added a Bachelor of Art in Public Policy and a Master's in Science in Public Health, along with a new bachelor degree in aquatic science. We all know seafood industry is one of the biggest ones in our country today. So KSU has the best aquaculture program in the country, one of the best. And what people don't often know is we're the number 3 research institution in the Commonwealth, right behind UK and US. Not only in terms of research done, also in terms of dollars that are brought to the Commonwealth. Hundreds of millions of dollars in research done by Kentucky State University. Something that is not told often, and Mr. Rosen was helping me today, how we can sell Kentucky State University, because a lot happens on campus, but people don't know about it. We also are seeking the state's approval to add a PhD, because we have a program of distinction in aquaculture, but we don't have a PhD. We only have a master level credential. So I've been working with the legislature to see how they can assist us with the PhD program. I won't end because my team put this together for me. I know that for time's sake, I also have to run to the Capitol. I'm supposed to be there at 10. So, if there's any question for me before I wrap it up, I know every year I get some questions. I save 2 minutes for questions.
We'll get them to you if we need to.
Okay.
Get answers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Our next speaker, is Mark Cobb. He's the superintendent of Franklin County Public Schools. He's been here for 8.5 years. He came to us from Hardin County, so let's welcome Mark Cobb.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, 9th year as superintendent. It just seems like yesterday was the first time I came in and addressed many of you all. But time flies when you're having fun, and we are having fun. And we're going to be talking about a lot of the fun things and exciting opportunities that we have going on in Franklin County Schools. Before we do all that, I want to talk about just the general theme. And that theme is growth. And growth can only happen through, in my opinion, 2 very important words. And those words are courage and collaboration. And what you're going to hear from all of us today is a lot of collaboration. And to have growth in a community, and I really appreciated hearing the mayor's words, and I can't wait to hear the judge executive's words. To have growth in a community, you have to have solid school systems. You have to have the ability to educate your children and make them good, productive citizens in society. That's the goal of public education going back to 1647. And I'm proud to say that Dr. Satterley and myself are friends. I consider her a fantastic educator who leads a fantastic school system. So both of our school systems, I'm going to advocate for today, because we need both of us working together, and we need to support each other in education. I want to talk specifically, obviously, about my school district, Franklin County Schools, and I want to briefly just talk about how we are a very sound institution in terms of both our academic performance, our opportunities that we provide for our students, and also from a fiscal perspective. You're hearing a lot in public education in Kentucky about two particular school districts that may not be as sound fiscally, and it's giving the rest of us kind of a bad name. And we don't like that because we take care of our financial situations here in our districts. In Franklin County Schools, we have a budget of $93 million. We began this year with a $15 million beginning fund balance. We are projecting to end with, again, a very healthy ending fund balance. And we do that even with giving raises 8 of the last 9 years. 8 of my 9 years as superintendents, we've been able to give a raise to our employees of at least 2%. The last 2 years, we've given our employees a 4% raise each year. We are doing everything we can to increase our compensation packages for our employees because we're the 22nd largest district in Kentucky. When I came here in 2017, we were ranked 90th in the state in teacher pay. I'm proud to say this morning we were ranked 26th in the state. We are also able to create facilities improvements and updates in our district. We are building a brand new Elkhorn Elementary School that is sitting on the banks of the Elkhorn Creek. And it's going to be a beautiful facility. If you have a chance to go by, it's on Stedman Town Lane. Go check out the construction. It is moving rapidly every day. We will be opening that elementary school in August of 2027. We have 2 brand new auxiliary gyms. One is open and operational. I was in it yesterday while the wrestling team was in there practicing. Each of our auxiliary gyms that we have built includes spaces for sports that traditionally have never had a space to practice. So if you went in Western Hills or Franklin County High School at the end of the school day, you see the wrestlers wrestling on mats next to dance cheer, doing flips and everything in the cafeteria. And then the archers may be down the hall shooting arrows. You never know what you're going to run into. But we're blessed to be able to provide 2 brand new auxiliary gyms that have spaces for each of those sports. There's a large gym space. There's a wrestling room, a dance cheer room, an indoor softball hitting facility, as well as a golf simulator. I know we got some golfers in the room here. Talk to me about getting you in there, and we'll see what we can work out on getting you into the golf simulator to check it out. In all honesty, we are going to be opening up our 2 auxiliary gyms for an open house next month. The date to be determined. Franklin County still has a few finishing touches, but it's super exciting to have those. We also, this year, implemented audio enhancement in our classrooms in both our middle schools and high schools. It is a safety system that provides each of our teachers a microphone that amplifies their voice, but also gives them on their microphone the ability to, if there's a situation, if there needs to be a lockdown, they have the ability to hit these buttons to call for a lockdown. It's tracked by GPS so that we know exactly where the situation is. It is connected with all of our speakers throughout the building as well as TV displays. So it's an element of safety that we're very proud to bring in. And it was obviously an investment that our Board of Education believed was obviously essential. Briefly talk about test scores. We're the highest performing school district in the area. We have 5 of our 11 accountable schools are green this year. That's the first time that's ever happened in Franklin County Schools. So we're very proud of our accomplishments. We're going to graduate nearly 50 students with an associate's degree through our various collaborations with BCTC, with Midway University, with Eastern Kentucky University. We're offering 2 brand new pathways in the coming year. One is in the area that I'm super excited about of media communication. And with that pathway, we're actually partnering with the Frankfort Plant Board to create a 24/7 TV channel that will be solely consisting of Franklin County Schools production. So our kids will be doing the videoing, the editing, all of the commentating. So they'll do all of our sporting events, all of our musicals and choir concerts and all of those things, 24/7. So we'll be able to sell our story a little bit more effectively so you can see the great things that are happening in Franklin County Schools. The other pathway that we're really excited about is through Eastern Kentucky University. It's actually a teacher apprenticeship program where our current students who want to become teachers are going to be taking classes through BCTC to earn their associate's degree. So when they get to college, they'll be able to enter into Eastern Kentucky University in the Teacher Pathway program. They will already have knocked out their associate's degree. They will only then spend 2 years in college and will earn their teaching certificate at the end of their sophomore year and will be able to come back and begin teaching for us. We're growing our own. We think that's super important. So the opportunities that we provide are fantastic in our district. Our Career Tech Center is known regionally as one of the most impactful ways for students to attain these opportunities. Also want to thank the Sheriff's Department. Sheriff Depp, thank you so much for your collaboration, your cooperation, and your work with our schools. We were the first district in the state of Kentucky to have a school resource officer in every single school, elementary, middle, and high. And that continues today, and it's the best check I write because those guys are fantastic and you do a great job with them. So thank you so much. Tish mentioned the laser program. We're super excited to work with the Chamber. This year was a pilot program. We wanted to make sure that we did, kind of work out all the kinks with the program, so we had 10 targeted students. This next year, we're really looking to expand that, and we're looking at the businesses in here. Come and support this project. Work with the Chamber. Let's find ways to get this to so many of our other students. Our job is to create good citizens. They're going to populate our businesses. They're going to grow this community. It's so incredibly important for us. And lastly, I just want to end on a note that to me is really relevant and important. And it's really just 3 things I want to leave you with. Please show an attitude of gratitude. Show an attitude of gratitude every single day of your life. We have way too much divisiveness in this world, in this society. Let's show gratitude towards each other. Secondly, be kind. It's easy to be harsh. It's also easy to be kind. So be kind to each other. And lastly, exhibit grace. If we can do those 3 things, if we can exhibit grace and be kind and show that attitude of gratitude, again, our job is to create good citizens. We want our kids to see the world that we want it to be. We don't want it to be in each other's face every single day. We may disagree, but I will fight to the death your right to disagree with me. It is okay. We don't have to be, so divisive. And I'm sorry if I get a little bit political on that, not meaning to. But I see a lot of our folks in the room that are running for office. Please exhibit those 3 things, and we're going to be in great shape. Let's set a great example for all of our students in this community. And again, through courage and collaboration, let's grow Franklin County and Frankfort. Thank you.
Thank you. He did mention that there are a lot of candidates in the room. I just want to give you, if your name's on the ballot this year, would you just stand up? Putting your name on the ballot means a lot because you really put yourself out there, win or lose. Thank you for what you're doing. So we appreciate that. Next, I'm going to, also take note of who stood up if you have any questions of them because they're not up on the stage. I'm sure they wouldn't mind just hanging out and talking to you. Next, we have Dr. Sherry Satterley. She is the Frankfort Independent Schools Superintendent. She's been here since July 2022. She came to us from Danville Independent Schools. And we are so proud to have her in our community. So let's bring Sherry up. Thank you.
Not as tall as you all. Good morning. How is everyone? I first wanted, as I sat here, I thought, I'm the least tenured person sitting on the stage now that Kofi is gone, but I look around the room and I think of 4 years ago, it'll be 4 years in July, my family moved here from a community we had lived in my whole life. And so it was really scary. It was really scary to move somewhere with a 10-year-old who was established in his school and was gonna be starting a new school and had friends and was gonna have to make new friends. And now I look around this room 4 years later and I see friends. And I see people I consider my family, because to me, family doesn't mean blood. And my boys are thriving in this community, and I see friends and family in this audience. I see parents. I see one of my board members, at least one. I see a board member who was on the board who hired me. And I'm so grateful to be here in this community, so I first wanted to say thank you. So a little bit about what's going on in Frankfort Independent right now. Of course, I'm going to talk to you about one really big thing in just a minute that is very important to me right now in this very moment. But just for the people in the room that aren't real familiar with Frankfort Independent, which I hope you are, but I always find people who are not. And it's surprising to me how unfamiliar people who live here are. We are a public school district. I get that question all the time. Are you public or private? We are public. We are fighting the same battles that Mr. Kopp is fighting, just on a much smaller scale, just because we're smaller. We house about 900 students, preschool through 12th grade. In 4 schools, we have an early learning academy. We have a K-8 building, which is 2nd Street Schools. I am a proud parent of a 7th grader and a 2nd grader at 2nd Street School. And I see a lot of 2nd Street parents in here. I'm gonna raise your hand if you're a 2nd Street parent. That's good hands. I love it. Raise your hand if you're a Frankfort High parent. Come on, Zach Moore, raise your hand higher than that. Thank you, Jack Kennedy. I like that really high hand there in the back. So K-8 2nd Street School, 9-12 Frankfort High, and then we have something called the Panther Transition Academy, which is a school for 7th through 12th graders who qualify, and it is for those students who just don't thrive well in a traditional classroom setting. And we all know, we've all met children like that, that just, it's not, they need to work, they need to support their family, they might have a baby at home, all the different things that cause them to not be able to attend school 7 hours a day. So we have some students in those situations as well. One of the things I really wanted to focus on, Kofi already mentioned, we do have 32. That is a huge number. I know Mark said 50. So 50 is obviously more than 32, but out of a graduating class of about 70, 32 is a big number of seniors to be graduating with an associate's degree from K-State. Before they will ever walk across their high school graduation stage. So for them to be able to have that experience in a cap and gown at the university level before they're ever a high school graduate, because they graduate a few weeks earlier than we do, is an amazing experience for those students. And we have about that many in each upcoming class as well. And a huge thank you to my Board of Education, who sees that as a priority. We pay every penny of it right now at the district level. No student has to pay a single penny. If you are willing to help sponsor some of that, because we'd like that to continue, I'm happy to have a conversation. Also, on the career and tech ed front, we do not have a tech center like Franklin County has, but we do everything we can to make those opportunities available for our students. In-house, we offer a culinary pathway, an early childhood pathway. We are looking at teaching and learning and computer science, and we do bus about 25 students, which is pretty big for us, to a place called the Trailblazer Academy in Mercer County, where they can do carpentry, auto tech, electricity, allied health, all of those things that we don't offer in-house. At the state level, I won't talk a lot about state assessment scores. One piece of it I will talk a lot about is that post-secondary readiness piece, which when seniors graduate high school, the state expects them to be post-secondary ready. They can accomplish that academically by ACT, now SAT score, being certified in a career and tech ed pathway or dual credit courses. And our post-secondary readiness rate this past year was 94.8 for this past year's graduating class. We are already almost at 90% with this senior class and at 73% with our current junior class. So we track that from the minute they walk in the door as freshmen at Frankfort High School. That way we're making sure we give them any opportunity to be ready for whatever they choose to encounter when they graduate high school. I want to financially a little bit, of course, I feel like you all hear this from me every year, but it's really important this year. Can I correct the mayor real quick? I'm glad he agrees to that. We just went into a partnership with the city and the county for an industrial revenue bond for a payment in lieu of taxes agreement. I think he said Franklin County Schools when he said it a minute ago, but it was Frankfort Independent Schools on the new Capitol Plaza Hotel project. So I'd like to thank my board and the city and the county for that opportunity. That is huge for us as a district. I don't have the budget that Franklin County has. My budget is about $14 million. I think you said 93. So much different size district, but same needs. $14 million budget roundabout. And if you don't know where that money comes from, it comes from SEEK at the state level and then from property taxes. Or lack thereof. In the Frankfort Independent District, over 75% of the property is tax exempt, be it religious, be it federal, state, city, county. I will say that of that 75%, 85% of it is state-owned Commonwealth of Kentucky property. So just want to highlight a few things we've been able to do, at least in the last 4 years, despite that problem. We have added, since my arrival anyways, I think, and Amelia, you may be able to tell me correctly, I'm pretty sure 2016 was the first nickel tax that was ever added to the tax rolls for Frankfort Independent. Since then, we've added 2 more nickel taxes. Those nickel taxes go to facilities in general. We are not going to build a new school. We have buildings that are 100 years old or older. We have to be able to upkeep those buildings. When I arrived in 2022, our bonding capacity for facilities was $4.7 million. Today, it's over 17 million. It could be over 20 million if the legislature adds back in the equalization of new nickel taxes. So I encourage you to reach out to your legislators right now in House Bill 500. There is no equalization of new nickel taxes, and we added a new nickel tax this year. I went to a committee meeting last week and I heard superintendent speak on, I have a building that's 40 years old. I have a building that's 30 years old and needs work. And I was like, okay, we really need this equalization of these new nickels. The bonding capacity to go from 4.7 to what could be over 20 million for us with the equalization is huge. It would allow us to do some things we haven't been able to do in recent years. Let's see. We also thank the community. If you live in my tax base, I have a very understanding community. Last year, we were the highest taxing district in the state of Kentucky at 107.5. There were property reassessments this year that allowed us to take a 4% increase in revenue and lower the tax rate and add a nickel tax to 102.9. My people know that if you're going to come work for Frankfort Independent, you're going to apply for grant dollars because we have to be showing that we're doing everything we can on our end to make ourselves financially healthy before we ask for help from the legislature. In the past year and a half, we have received the Kentucky Comprehensive Literacy Grant in the amount of $1.065 million. We just received a grant from the Kentucky Department of Library and Archives to digitize all of our paper records, that student records, personnel files, all of those things. We just received a numeracy counts grant to fund our new math, high quality instructional resource, and my favorite one, outside of the reading one. Reading is, in my opinion, the thing that makes all things possible. We just received a Spark grant for CTE opportunities for students who qualify for special education services for vocational rehabilitation, which is a piece that's missing in a lot of our schools. Are you kidding me? Genius. Oh my gosh, I wasn't even watching.
It's always her.
Okay, one more thing real quick before I go. The big important thing that I wanted to talk to you all about and financially is, I don't know if you've seen, but Representative Hancock is in the room and she has filed a bill on our behalf on any district who's in our position's behalf. House Bill 560. If a district has more than 65% tax exempt property, this bill would allow us to get 25% of that lost revenue back. So if you feel compelled to reach out to any legislators, because while she is my legislator and she filed the bill, all of them have a vote. This would give us back about 3 million of the 11 million that is lost. So, wrap it up. Okay, sorry. Graduation rate of 99.3%. These kids deserve just as much as any other student in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And this bill would help us astronomically, so please contact your legislator.
Our last speaker, last but not least, obviously, is Judge Michael Mueller. He is our Franklin County Judge Executive and has been since January of 2023. He previously served as the District 3 Magistrate on the Fiscal Court, and prior to his full-time role as County Judge, he was President of Inside Out Design for 16 years. So we're proud to have him serve Franklin County, and we'll bring him on up.
Good morning, how's everybody doing today? Seems like y'all getting a little lackadaisical out there. Before I begin, I want to give a couple shouts out. We have Squire Sherry Sebastian and my deputy Jack Kennedy here. I want to say thank you for all you do. The entire official court, our staff, my wife that let me do what I do. Sheriff Dwayne Depp, couldn't thank you enough. I think it was just last year that I appointed you, and I couldn't have appointed a better person to take over. I think Mr. Cobb hit on that with SROs and everything you and your team do, especially during the floods and all this craziness we've had. I think the mayor could agree with me. This last year has been wow. It's been a whole lot, so just want to thank you all for that. We also have Haley with Senator Mitch McConnell's office here. I want to thank, she's raised her hand there. Mary Carter with Congressman Comer's office was here. So I think, Kathy, you said earlier, it's a threat about everybody working together. It's not just locally, it's on the state level, Representative Hancock, it's on the national level. We all talk and we're trying to do things for this community that have never been done before. And it takes everybody working together. Also want to give a shout out to candidates that are running for local office. I'm appreciative nobody's running against me this year, but it takes a lot to put your name on that ballot. A lot of people talk about it and they say, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and they don't do it. It's a tough, ruthless job. I'm just gonna be honest. Not too many people call and say, great job! You get calls every day. People, I wrote this and snow this, and you can imagine. So much respect to everybody that is running for local office. We also have two special guests this morning. Probably two most important people here. They are on the new Youth Advisory Council with Just Say Yes, our community partners. So I'm going to ask Leo and Daisy to stand up and give us a wave. I wish I could tell you exactly what that program's doing, but I can't. But I did go to one meeting, and it's a really cool group of kids that have come together and want to start inputting on the future of Frankfort and Franklin County. They want to be involved. They want to kind of help us shape. We can sit here and talk about the schools and what we think we should do. It's the kids who really are going to tell us what needs to happen. All right, so I wouldn't be a good politician if I didn't thank everybody, so I'm going to keep moving for now. Big year, let's be honest. We had Nito come in with 220 jobs, biggest job announcement in decades. Within the first year, they added another 100 jobs. That company alone is right around 330 jobs. Plus, I think, like the mayor said, Uni, we have Meridian coming in. Couldn't be happier. And I know Tierney Development has at least one building that's going to be ready this year, another 150,000. So they know the importance of adding jobs in this community because that's how we function. Flood was horrific. Mayor touched on it a little bit. February, April, terrible. Franklin County has come forward. We were one of the first counties in the state to do a buyout program. I believe we're looking at close to 30 homes that will be bought out. 22 are already approved on the national level. The shutdown kind of slowed things down a little bit, but we'll be buying a lot of Big Eddy and some of those areas in Travis Circle, actually Squire Sebastian's district, that we're gonna kind of have to figure out what we're gonna do as a fiscal court with that area once the homes leave. So it's devastating for a lot of people, but we are very glad that we could offer that for our community. So planning and zoning is a big thing. That's one of the reasons I got involved in local politics, because I said it's too much red tape. You know, every time we go to do something, it's, oh, you gotta do this now, you gotta do that. We have really focused on bringing our planning and zoning up to 2026 now. So we're putting everything online, digitalizing everything. We're really making an effort to make it bigger and better. So any input from you all, I've gone to speak to the DIG, which is a lot of development people. I said, we need input. We want to know how to make it better. So we're looking to change there. Farmdale Sanitation, that's been a project that started in 2004. We've had documentation. It was first. It's 1,200 homes out there that have 7 package plants that are basically no longer working. So I think we're up to 14.25 million. We're getting ready to break ground. The second RFP is getting ready to go out. That project is getting ready to start and help the whole side of West Frankfort. So that's a huge thing. Affordable housing and housing of all kinds. I'm proud of the fiscal court. Last year we went ahead and signed a contract with Winterwood. We have 2 acres down on Home Street that we'll be developing with them this year. So that's exciting. We also have, I think, in the county, close to 800 residents being built, townhomes, houses, apartments, and there's more coming. So looking forward to doing some announcements there. Courthouse has been it's been a lot. You know, we know the courthouse and why they put a basement in the courthouse next to the river, we will not ever know. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I didn't realize until all that happened. I knew a little bit, but literally it's the fiscal court's responsibility. It's our building, even though AOC takes care of it. So that has been just a lot of work, a lot of meetings with the judges, AOC, state. It's gonna take millions to rebuild it, but at least they're back up and functioning now. So I appreciate especially our Franklin County maintenance staff for really working to get that all cleaned up. Mayor touched on it a little bit. Poolness Wellness Center, huge thing, huge thing. Fiscal court stepped up last year, I believe, and entered into an agreement with the governor's office about some property off Martin Luther. Next week, I believe the bids are coming in with conceptual drawings. So we will actually be able to start getting into the community, raising some money privately. We're working with the state about potentially working with us as another benefit for state employees, because wellness is a huge thing. Sports Commission, I think we started that maybe the year before, but that's off and running very well. You know, we added a little bit more fee on hotels, but that's generating a lot of money, and it's going to be able to really help us do what we want to do. We have a current Lakeview Park project going right now, softball complex, $14.2 million. It will be finished this October. So our goal is to have our local teams be able to use it Monday through Thursday, and then we're going to try to bring regional tournaments in Friday, Saturday, Sunday to really bring some money into this community. It's projected 700 to 800 people per weekend, 34 weekends roughly out of the year. So those are some big numbers. The fiscal court agreed to have a partnership with Josephine Sculpture Park. I think that's really one of the coolest things in this community, and sometimes people don't think about it. So we are working with Melanie and her team to do some big things in this community. And you know, at the end of the day, I'm not telling you all anything you don't know. It comes down to 2 things when people look at this community. It comes down to school systems and quality of life. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So fiscal court's really focusing on quality of life. We're renovating our Lakeview Park project. We have the other park that we purchased years ago that hopefully the next couple weeks we're going to have a meeting, and we're really going to get some stuff happening out there. So they're both right about 128 acres apiece. So that's amazing. Just love it. Thornhill, can't say enough good things about Thornhill Education Center. They are doing so many things. Kelly calls it up on the hill. I mean, it used to just be the GEDs, but now that building is full from sun up to sundown. Can't say enough things. The NCFL, the pilot program for that program started here in Franklin County for the entire United States, and we are still leading the charge. So everyone should be very, very proud of that. Our jail's doing bigger things. You know, we're doing a SAP-SOAR program. Currently, it's just for females. We roughly have about 48 females enrolled in that right now. It's about a year of classwork, Monday through Friday, and 6 months, I'm sorry. And then I think it's about a year internship. And those are ladies that you see out in the community. They help with snow removal, they're at the senior center, they're everywhere. Just helping this community. Labor alone from that program, it's over $2 million per year that our jail is putting back in for labor in this community that's costing everybody nothing, except us that we pay for the jail. Anyways, Sherry spoke on the agreement that we did with the new Capitol Plaza. I mean, let's all be honest, that place has been needed to be renovated for decades. I mean, it's a turd, let's be honest. So we had some people step up and they needed, I'm just being honest. The current owners will tell you that. It needs to be fixed, it needs to be renovated. It's at the focal point of downtown. So I'm really glad for the mayor, the city commission, the independent school board, and the fiscal court for stepping up and doing that RFP because they're getting ready to start construction. I signed papers yesterday actually with the bond attorney. So that's getting ready to happen. Probably within the next month, you're going to see renovation starting. I think it's $26 million they're going to put in that. So couldn't say enough good things. All right, I get to sing going then. She's got 30 seconds. Okay. Senior Center, amazing. They're up there, best in the state. I mean, hands down. I will say we're continuing to invest our funds for the rainy day funds for the fiscal court. Couldn't thank our treasurer, Amy Quatman, enough. We're making good money on that. We're working on a new park on 421. Completion of the softball complex. We just got the ribbon on a new road department. $6 million project. Broadband we're still working on, and we are hopefully this spring going to announce a huge accessible playground. We are going to start a campaign to start raising funds because we want to build something spectacular out of Lakeview Park. First Lady Brittany Bashir is working with me on that. I know Tish has been instrumental on that, so we're close to announcing that. We just have so many things going right now. It's hard to kind of prioritize, but as always, my door is always open. I work all the time. If anybody ever wants to sit down, grab coffee, grab lunch, give us a call. Jenny will set an appointment up. I'm here to help. That's the only reason we're doing this job. So with that, I say thank you, and thank you for all you all do.
We always appreciate your descriptive words.
I've tried to watch myself.
Yeah, you did.
I did good. I did good.
Now comes the fun part. It's question and answer time. If you've had the opportunity, there's sheets on your table. You can ask questions, and then we'll have folks come around and collect questions. Just hold them up, and we'll come around and get those. While we're getting those, I will take a point of privilege to introduce from the Frankfort Plant Board. We have our general manager here, Gary Zane. We have two new assistant general managers who've been with Plant Board a long time, but Sharmista Dutta and Travis McCullough. And then we have board members here, Catherine Dutton Mitchell, Stephen Mason, and John Cuban just stepped out. But they're all very supportive. We love our board members, and we appreciate the work that they put in for practically nothing. So, as we're getting questions, I will also say, as far as questions go, and I mentioned that we do the candidates one-on-one interviews, and we do the chamber forums. We take questions from the public. So, if there are questions that you would like to ask of our candidates, please submit those to Tish, or you can send them directly to me. I'm clindsay@fewpb.com. You can also send them to Cable 10, and that's cable10@fewpb.com. We want your questions because, again, there's every seat's open except the mayor's.
Let's go. Janice, this doesn't work.
Okay.
We need one that this doesn't work.
We'll switch out on the mics. I'm going to take a look at the questions. Okay, this one works. Okay, here's a good one. This is for the mayor and the county judge. How did the city and county support the farmers market?
One way is that we use the same. I'd say one way is that we did work with the state to find a new home for the farmers market, and we worked to get a grant and then also funded the remaining balance of that. So you're talking about an investment of approximately $1 million into that new facility, which I think is fantastic on Home Street. So I think that's a big financial piece of support right there.
Okay, good. All right. Next one is for Mark Cobb. This will take you just a second. When will Franklin County Schools offer a virtual opportunity like Frankfort Independent as well as Anderson County? It is essential for students who struggle attending a full day. Giving this opportunity and allowing students to still participate in sport and graduation.
We not only have one, we have two of those things already in place. William Cofield High School is an alternate attendance model that most of the work is done online. And we also have an e-school for our students. So we do have both of those opportunities already. If you need further information on that, please let me know. Because some of our students sitting in a classroom with 27 other desks doesn't work from an 8 to 3 perspective. We have students who are pregnant. We have students who are working. We have students who have to help take care of their little brothers and sisters. So that was something that I instituted in 2018 excuse me, with the creation of William Cofield High School. That was one of the things that helped take our graduation rate from 81% when I took over to over 96% today. I have a terrible frog in my throat. 96% as a whole district. And by the way, both of our high schools in Franklin County Schools are now ranked in the top 25% in the state of Kentucky. We're super proud of that, so thank you.
For Judge Mueller, what are you putting in place to protect Frankfort and Franklin County from Dick's Dam releasing or waiting to release water that causes the flood to be worse?
Well, that's a great question. And I do know early in March, Together Frankfort is putting a really, really impressive panel together to talk about Dick's Dam especially. I think if you all were paying attention, obviously you were during the flood, and when that mayor up there said that we're releasing water and all hell broke loose, let's be honest, and it was all fictitious. The tough thing about Dick's Dam is it's monitored from the Corps of Engineers, but KU Utilities runs it and manages it. So from what we've been told, they did everything they were supposed to do during the flood. There is a lot of questions as far as why are they holding so much volume right now. But they're literally going to be at that forum next month, so I would highly recommend anybody who either, I'm sure it will be televised also, but I think there will be a lot of answers there. The mayor and I have met with Division of Water. We've talked about dredging, and they said don't say dredging, that's the wrong term. We got our hand slapped, or I did, yada yada, you know. So this is all new to us, you know. I mean, I'm not a hydrologist or anything like that. There's a lot of people out there on social media, which that whole social media thing gets out of control anyways, but you know, they're always, you know, trying to put everybody in fear. People, and I know the governor's office is doing a complete study of the entire river systems in the state, because we're not just the only ones that flooded, obviously. So it's something that we're continuing on to work on all the time, daily.
Okay. The next question is for you and the mayor, and I'm sure you probably haven't had this question yet. So what is the realistic time frame for the replacement of the Singing Bridge?
We had a meeting about it last week, a consulting party meeting, and some of the people, it was an invitation only for people that are going to be affected. And it looks like this year, 2026, is still the design year. They're pretty far along on that in terms of just an overview. But now we're working with the state to make sure that we mitigate some of the adverse effects that's happening, because this is a historic bridge that connects two distinct historic districts in our community. So it's not easy to do, particularly when there's federal money likely involved, which is going to be the likely funding source for the replacement bridge. And we're looking at, I think, 2027 right now as a possibility of starting the construction with completion in 2029. And I don't know if we did any of that, but that's what we're looking at right now. So I think the end is in sight, but it's not going to be in the next 2 years before we can walk across that. But you know, We gotta think long-term on this. It's a 130-year-old bridge. It's not easy to do. And there's been some question about why we can't use it right now for pedestrian use. And it was made clear that this is in terrible shape, and just anything could happen, and it's best not to take a chance on it right now. So I would encourage people to heed that and just be patient. And our job right now as leaders is to work with the state, work with our federal partners to make sure that it's something that's significant, that fits in with our community's character, and that it gets funded, because we can't take it for granted that the state or the federal government sees it the same way that we do.
Okay. I have a question. There's something on here that I just want to question. Is there going to be a time in the summer when the Capitol Bridge will be closed?
There is, and it's either June or July, I don't have it in front of me, but I think there's 4 weekends consecutively where it will be closed. But again, this is one of those things. It'll be completely closed, I think, even to pedestrian traffic, and please, I'm incorrect, I think that's right though. But this is necessary. I know it's terrible timing with the Singing Bridge, but when the Singing Bridge was shut down, we also heard from a lot of constituents who are concerned about the Capitol Avenue Bridge. Like, what's the, is that safe? Well, this is an opportunity for the state to make some repairs to that. So again, I know the timing's never going to be good on the closure of that bridge, but they tried to take into account the school calendars, the legislative calendar, and this is what we have. And again, working with the state, when they're willing to do something and put the money behind it, we're going to make it as easy for them to do it as possible.
Okay. Continuing on that theme, considering the closure of the Singing Bridge and possibly the closure of the Capitol Bridge sometime in the summer, are there real steps being taken or in place to open Taylor Avenue?
And I wanted to get to this, ran out of time, but I mentioned the Singing Bridge as well, because in 2026 we hope to make Singing Bridge. We're working with the state, we're monitoring that, we're trying to nudge as best we can. The Taylor Avenue, we're also, the situation there is the state controls that roadway. We have a precarious rock that's there that they're unsure of. It's best for them to just close the roadway and not take a chance. Of course, with the city, we're interested in the roadway being open because of emergency vehicles for one, and also the connectivity and with the bridges. So I think what our position is that we're going to work with the state to, well, first we paid for a consultant to study the geology there and to determine what's the situation. And it doesn't, based on that, I don't think the state's going to open up the bridge, open up the roadway. So perhaps we could work with the state to see about transferring that ownership to the city of Frankfort. I'm not saying that's what we would do, but it is something I think we can explore, and then we can make that determination whether it's open or not. But there's other variables there. That there's the riverbank that's on Taylor Avenue that then we would be responsible for. So it's not so simple to just open it up. But we are working on it. We're aware of with the bridges being closed.
Okay. And I'll give you people the opportunity, if you still have a question, and maybe a question came up from an answer, just hold it up and somebody else can hear it. The next question is for our superintendents. Quality schools drive people to our community. Could you all elaborate on what we are doing to outshine our neighbors?
I think not the biggest thing, but one of the big things we're doing in Frankfort Independent, Mayor Wilkerson and I were just talking that some of our students, when they graduate with that associate's degree, and they don't pay a single penny for it, they are starting, a lot of them, it's a 60-hour program, a lot of them are starting as juniors in college. So that's money that they do not have to take out in loans, that's money that their parents do not have to pay for those 2 years, or however many, depends on where you go, depends on what transfers, depends on what program you are taking. That is one of the biggest things we are doing to set ourselves apart from other districts. I will also reiterate that partnership for us is primarily at this point with Kentucky State University, with our university in our community.
Yeah, similarly, it's providing opportunities for real world both apprenticeships and also in terms of college and career readiness, okay? Our college and career readiness percentage as a district is approaching 100%. We do a really good job in our district of providing not only strong college readiness with the highest ACT scores in the area, our green performing schools, our top 25 high schools. We also provide those industry level certifications for every one of our programs that's at CTC. So we're talking about things like nursing, welding, automotive mechanics. We also have a pre-engineering program where students are learning through Project Lead the Way about engineering and are then moving into University of Kentucky, University of Global Speed School. So it's about connecting the dots and creating opportunities for students. Every student needs to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I think we do that better than every district in the state.
Okay, we're running a little short on time, so we're gonna kind of do a little more rapid fire. Again, for the superintendents, and we'll make it short, how are we meeting the needs of our local industry to provide the workforce that they specifically need to stay successful here in Frankfort to be attractive to other companies?
I did just address part of that. I'll give you just a quick example of something that's happening here within the next week. We're going to be meeting with Toyota, and Toyota is wanting us to use part of our facility at CTC to create a maintenance pathway for our students to then be able to go and work directly into the industrial maintenance area. And so it's another one of those things we're constantly seeking ways to work with our local manufacturers, our local businesses, to find opportunities that we can collaborate.
Really quickly, I'll highlight our senior internship program. At least 95% of our seniors are out in our community doing internships in some of your businesses. If you have an intern from Frankfort High, will you raise your hand? Well, I only see a couple, but there are tons in our community. The only reason they don't go is if we need to do some work to make sure that they are meeting graduation requirements. So our 90 seniors this year, which is a big class, are all out in the community doing senior internships in Frankfort and Franklin County.
Okay. For the mayor, please share what you expect to get out of the riverfront study that the city just initiated.
Well, one, I think we can have a definitive plan in phases, which is important, because this is not, you're not going to tackle riverfront development all at one time. It's going to be in phases. And it's going to identify what goes where. And for those sites that the city controls, which we, since my first term, we picked up 3 properties on the riverfront that we can now have some control over, because that's important. You know, when we know that something needs to go in a place, the city can take action and not have to wait on a private developer, I think, and potentially get funding for that. I think that's important. I think a world-class plan from a design firm that specializes in riverfronts that flood, and I think that's always been a consideration. We've heard it from plans in the past, well, our riverfront floods, that won't work. This firm specializes in riverfronts that flood. Look at what they did in Cincinnati on the Chicago River Walk. They've shown, you know, when a river floods, they're back in action in a matter of weeks, if not sooner. So that's going to be important for our riverfront development. And I think we're going to have some amenities that the community's been asking for years. I expect that some of that will be identified as possibilities.
Okay, you can pull on to the mic. There's 2 more questions. I think they're both for you. With the city's current riverfront project, the event center, and various other projects, how does the city plan to assist in financing the new aquatic center?
One, we are going to, on the meeting and event center, that has already been partially funded by the state. And the city's already committed funds to that, and we set aside a dedicated revenue stream to do that. I think that we're also looking for more money on that. There's more state money we're looking for. There's federal earmarks we may consider. There's tax credits we may consider. So as much as we can pay that down and lower our outlay every year, the better. That will free up funds for the indoor pool and aquatic center and wellness center. And Judge mentioned that they're pursuing funds as well. This is something that with the state. So I think that for me, it's more important to get the idea out there, start thinking about it, and get the rallying, the support around it. We're gonna get the funding. And I know that may seem like wishful thinking, but we're already seeing it with the Meeting and Event Center. We're gonna get there with the Aquatic and Wellness Center. And Riverfront, the thing I like about Sasaki is everything that they put in place, they're thinking about how is revenue going to be used to support this and make it sustainable, whether it's a food and beverage component, whether it's an entertainment component, maybe it's a riverfront amenity. They're thinking about ways to monetize that and capture the equity so that it goes back into the project.
Okay, and then finally, this is kind of two-part. Are there any plans for housing downtown to attract people who want to live in a walkable community? And is there a plan for a grocery store downtown?
I'll talk about the housing first. Yes, there's plans for housing downtown. I think that's one of our, the glaring hole that we have is we don't have enough density downtown. And I think that's the one key thing. Once that comes, we've seen an uptick in tourism over the past few years, and we see more and more people walking downtown that aren't from here. But I think that when we get newer housing, more range of options for different income levels or ages, I think that's going to make a difference. So if you look at the parcels right now where the Civic Center used to be, or the YMCA used to be, and also if you count the farmers market site, one of those will be housing. I'm confident. That was the original plan, mixed-use development. Some of that's going to be dependent on where the new Meeting and Event Center is sited. We have pretty high confidence where that's going to go. We can't, announce that yet. But once that's settled, you'll start to see the housing, I'm confident, come in. There's also at least a 30-unit apartment building being worked on now, adaptive reuse. And the city's also got a National Park Service grant that this year applications will go out for historic revitalization grants. We hope that will help some of our neighbors and downtown building owners put money into the properties to make them more livable.
Okay, well, that wraps it up on the questions. If you had another question come up, I'm sure they'll be around and you can track them down. On behalf of the Frankfort Plant Board, I'd like to say thank you to everyone for coming and thank Tish, Janice, and all the folks at the Chamber for putting this together. And at that, I'm going to turn it over to Tish for our final words.
So I just want to thank you guys all for coming. Can we give our panelists a round of applause? I appreciate the transparency that all of you are coming to share with us today. We do this because we represent the business community, which is you, and we give you what you ask for. You ask to get questions to these folks, and they've been gracious enough to answer those questions, so we appreciate that. I do want to mention, we talked about the flood, and I want to say that the Chamber jumped in to help as well. We secured $40,000 in grants, and I want to thank Holly at AT&T for a $10,000 grant that we put right back into our community with our nonprofits. I want to thank Walmart, who did a $5,000 grant, and then the Rotary International, we got a $25,000 grant that the Rotary is still working on with us to get that money back in our community to help some of those flood victims. I do want to thank Bee's Bakery for that wonderful breakfast, so thank you very much for that. And I want to thank Community Trust Bank for jumping in to sponsor this every year. We appreciate you and the plant board, and we appreciate everybody who just took the time out of your day to come and be here with us. We can't wait to do this next year. We're hoping for another award to add to our stack, because we're stacking them up this year. So thank you guys for coming. Have a great day. Happy Fat Tuesday. So go out and have a little fun today.
Right? Yeah, me too.